lesson, lesson 11 on biodiversity from the booklet B2.1 on biodiversity and classification. Hopefully, if you were in the assembly just before we went into lockdown, you will have some kind of understanding of what the term biodiversity means. WJC require you to know this as a definition, so it's really important that you learn it. It is the variety of species and the numbers within those species in a particular area. It's really important that we protect species, as a change in population of just one species can have a massive impact on all the other organisms in a food web in a particular habitat. So how can we protect species? This first picture is one of my favourite habitats, a very biodiverse habitat in our amazing planet. So we can see the numbers of corals and fish and the sea turtle here in this particular diagram. So what do we mean by an endangered species? Well, here we can see 3 endangered species. We have the Bengal tiger, Panthera tigris. We have the golden mantella frog, Mantella aurantia, and it is a small poisonous frog found in Madagascar. And we have these huge trees called the Grandidia's baobab, which are also found in Madagascar. An endangered species is one that is at risk of extinction, of being wiped out. A species with a small or declining population, or perhaps a very small range, only found in a particular habitat. Some species are so endangered that they could disappear completely within our lifetimes. And we've already seen several different species of tiger that have become extinct already. So why are species endangered? So here we can see a golden-crowned Siphica lemur from Madagascar clinging to the tree. It's often as a direct result of human activity. And some of the most common threats include things like habitat loss, where forests have been chopped down for mining or for other purposes, hunting and poaching, perhaps for their skins or for rhino horn, invasive species, so ones that are alien, that have moved in and then compete with those species, a change in climate, so either too hot or too cold, or perhaps too much moisture or not enough moisture, collection and the pet trade, which obviously is illegal, and so in our country things like importing certain types of animal product and plant product would carry huge fines, and pollution. So biodiversity is really important because it can provide us with food, potential foods, new foods, industrial materials, new medicines. So some medicines may not have even been discovered, but they may be found potentially in rainforests from plants or from animals, and for human well-being. Biodiversity and endangered species need to be conserved and protected. And so a typical question in a WJSE examination is to ask you how endangered species could be conserved. So these are the following things that are listed within the syllabus that they expect you to know. So there are conventions on international trade in endangered species to protect those endangered species. There are sites of special scientific interest, and in Wales, just literally down the road in Pontclou, there is a marshy area, and there's one particular species that lives there. It's called the marsh fritillary butterfly, and that is protected. So there is a site of special scientific interest just literally down the road from us. Captive breeding programs, often found in zoos, which I know not everybody is a fan of zoos, but sometimes those programs are really important for endangered species to protect them. We have national parks where we can see specimens of trees and particular types of animals that would live there. We have seed banks. So up in Kew is one of the largest seed banks up in London, where most plants have a selection of seeds have been preserved and kept there to ensure that species don't become extinct, and sperm banks as well to prevent extinction. And local biodiversity action plans. So within the county of Swansea, there would be a biodiversity action plan to protect sites of special scientific interest and protect particular species. So that is the very short lesson on biodiversity. Finish off.